Just imagine your credit score as a video game character. You're starting at a low level of 500. But with watching this video, you're going to learn tips and tricks to level up. So by the end of this video, you're going to have the cheat codes to level up to a 750 credit score. Let's talk about the 5 components of your FICO score. First, let's talk about your payment history. That makes up 35% of your overall credit score, which means you never want to miss a payment for any reason. Many people will set up automatic payments only at the minimum payment level just to ensure that they never miss a payment. And if you have a real low credit score right now, this could be a good tactic to use. But this way, if you're very concerned about missing payments, you can make sure that you're not going to miss any. So the next is amounts owed or credit utilization. That makes 30% of your overall credit score. You don't want to bring your credit cards near to the limit, perhaps using 90% of that available credit line. You want to, realistically, to build credit fast, quickly, is use 30% or less of your overall credit score. The lower, the better. Just by doing this will help increase your credit score quicker. Now, another factor that matters is credit mix. Credit mix only makes up 10% of your overall credit score, but it can be a little factor to help boost you to the next level. So with credit mix, you want to have different types of credit accounts, not just credit cards. So an example of this would be either a car loan or a small personal loan. Having a variety of different credit on your credit report helps give you a slight edge in increasing your credit score faster. There's another thing called age of accounts. That makes up 15% of your overall credit score. And what that is that your older credit accounts help increase your credit score. So if you have a store card you opened 5 years ago, but you don't go and shop at that store anymore, don't cancel it. Keep it open. Help with your age of accounts by leaving that account open. The only time I would consider closing an account is if you have a credit card with an annual fee. But before you cancel that one, call a credit card company, see if they can waive that annual fee permanently. If that's the case, then it makes good sense to keep it open. So there's also something called new credit, and that's how much you are applying for new credit in a short amount of time. Because you can understand from the mindset of creditors, they're a little nervous if they see somebody constantly applying for different lines of credit. So you want to make sure that you strategically choose certain cards that are going to help you build your credit and ones that you're most likely to get approved for. I've done lots of videos on easily approved credit cards. You can review them on my channel. But overall, what you want to do is be discriminate about which credit card offers you're applying for and look for ones that are not going to do a hard credit inquiry. So always look for opportunities where you can apply for credit with cards that offer soft inquiries. So having an understanding of these 5 key credit factors will help you to level up your credit score faster. So to quickly recap this first part, all you need to do, make sure your payments are on time, you keep your balances low, you don't apply for too many credit cards, you have a variety of different credit cards, and you don't cancel any credit cards. Do those things and that will help increase your credit score. Another thing you can do to increase your credit score fast is to become an authorized user on another person's account. This simply works that you find somebody that you can trust and they put you on as an authorized user. But there is risk to that because now you're going to be tied into their credit history. So if they start missing payments, then that's trouble for you. So if you're going to go that route, make sure it's somebody you've known, possibly a family member, somebody you can trust if you're going to use that way to help increase your credit score. Another way you can build your credit score quickly is to get a secured card. The 3 cards that I like the best are from Capital One, Discover, and Open Sky. If you have no established credit history, then I recommend applying for either Capital One or Discover, or perhaps both. And the reason being is that they like it when you don't have established credit, you have a clean slate, so your chances of getting approval is very good. Not 100%, but you have a good chance. But they can be picky for people that have more complicated credit histories. And for that reason, that's why I recommend Open Sky. They will take about 85% of applicants. They will approve them. The main reason why people might not get approved is perhaps they didn't fill out all of the necessary paperwork correctly. But in most cases, Open Sky will approve you for a line of credit no matter how bad your credit score is. So one of these 3 credit cards can be a great option in helping you raise your credit score fast. So now I'm going to give you some quick tips to help you. Now some of these tips will help increase your credit score, or they will help you be responsible and manage your accounts. So the first one is that you may need to pick your due date. If you get paid at a certain time in the month and it's more convenient, easier to make your credit card payments at that time, most credit card companies will allow you to change your due date. And that can help you manage your finances easier. Remember when I said the most important thing that you need to do is always make your payments on time. But if you miss a payment, don't panic. Act as quickly as possible and call the credit card company. Oftentimes there's things that can be done so that it's not reported negatively. Also, if they want to charge you a late fee, if this is your first time, especially if it's your first time, you can call them and ask them to remove that late fee. Save yourself a little bit of money. And even if it's not your first time, hypothetically, sometimes they'll even remove more than 1 late fee. It doesn't hurt to ask. So be mindful about your options when you miss a payment. Remember how I said that you need to keep your credit utilization low, at least by 30%, ideally at 10%, but that may not be practical if you need to use your card. One thing you can do after having a card for a certain period of time, if you have on-time payment history with that card, call the credit card company, see if they can do a credit line increase for you. You'd be surprised, and oftentimes they'll do it without a hard credit inquiry. But you want to call them to see if they can do a credit line increase without doing a hard credit inquiry. So that's an important tip, because sometimes they will not tell you, you don't know, you get a hard credit inquiry and voila, your credit score dropped a few points. So that's one important tip to avoid lowering your credit score. Here's something a lot of people don't know. It's important to know when your credit card will report to the bureau, because with credit utilization, you may be doing your part. You may be keeping your balances at 30% or lower, but based on when they report, that could be at a different time, and it might report your credit line usage being higher than it actually is. And I've done this in the past. I actually found out on a few of my credit cards when they actually reported. That way I could make sure, I could ensure that I kept my credit utilization low on that count, and that helped me raise my overall credit score higher. So I did mention credit mix and how having different types of credit counts can help increase your credit score just a little bit, but slightly. And if you're not ready for a major loan, any type of car loan or home loan, you can get a personal loan, and that can report as an installment account on your credit report. And one popular company for that is Self, which offers credit building loans. These loans are secured. If I'm giving you value in this video today, please hit like, and if you want to see more of what I have upcoming, please hit subscribe. It may surprise you, but about 25% of Americans have errors on their credit reports. And if you have an error on your credit report, that could be potentially what's keeping your score down and you never even knew about it. So a good thing to do is to periodically check your credit report. Now, there are services that can help you monitor more closely, maybe on a monthly basis, but you want to at least check yearly to make sure nothing has gone wrong, nothing has been reported incorrectly. So if you want a copy of your credit report from all 3 major credit bureaus, you just need to go to annualcreditreport.com, and in that way you can have copies and you can go over to make sure each credit bureau is reporting your credit history correctly. If you see any errors, you can dispute them, and usually around 30 to 60 days they can correct them for you, and you can see a noticeable boost to your credit score if a damaging error is corrected. Okay, another way to build credit quickly is if you're a student, this is an easy way to help build your credit by applying for and getting approved for a student credit card. These credit cards oftentimes have no annual fee and they can earn rewards. So this is an easy way to build credit while you're in college. Just follow the tips that we talked about before about making sure your payments are on time and that you keep your credit utilization low, and that can help you have fantastic credit by the time you graduate. So there are some pitfalls when you're trying to build your credit score, and they are taking part in different types of programs that are promising you things that are usually too hard, difficult to believe that are even possible. And I would say that 90% of these type of programs are scams and they can cause you more harm. So be careful about what you see online and what you sign up for. These things can do you harm and not help you increase your credit score at all. One mistake people make, people with established credit, and you may have that, is that they decide to co-sign for someone for a credit card. And that's very dangerous because you don't know, even if they are a close family member or close friend, whether you can really rely on them making their payments on time. And if they don't, then that's going to negate all the hard work you've done. So I would highly recommend not to co-sign for anybody. So remember the character in the very beginning of this video, your credit score? Just imagine in 1 year, following these simple tips that I've given you today, how much dramatically you can increase that score. So if you are needing more information to help you increase that credit score, check out this next video. So I haven't been making a lot of videos lately and YouTube's quite frankly not happy with me, but if you've enjoyed this video today, please hit that like button. It does help me. Leave a comment or subscribe if you want to see my future upcoming videos. I'm back. So take care, and I'll see you next time.